Students, hear me, your biology teacher from IYS. Student, first I'm giving you some instructions. First, listen my instructions carefully, okay, and follow them. Keep your biology book with you and don't raise your hand during my lecture. If you want to ask any question, you can ask me in question answering session through chat. Third, take a screenshot of every slide as well as home task slide. Okay, and fourth, hide your video during my lecture. Students, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, today we are starting again. I am continue my teaching of chapter 9. The name of chapter is chapter 9. Chapter 9, and the name of this chapter is transport. First, again, I'm repeating the definition of transport. Students, the meaning of transport is to carry substances, materials, or passengers or people from one place to another place. But we are learning about the transport system in living organisms. Okay, and the topic the transport in plant is going on. Okay, but now my today's topic is transpiration. Okay, and transpiration in plants, how this process occurs in plants. Transpiration, students, is very much important for plants to maintain the transport system. Transport system. Through transport system, plants transport or carry different nutrients, materials, okay, and gaseous exchange as well as water and minerals transport to all parts of the plants. Okay, to that's why to maintain this system, the transpiration is very much important. How? Means we will learn how the transpiration is very much important for transport system. Now first let's start. What is transpiration? First, I'm going to define what is transpiration. Transpiration, better student, transpiration, it is the evaporation of excess water from the aerial parts of the plants in the form of vapors. Again, I'm repeating the evaporation of excess water from the aerial parts of the plant in the form of vapors is called transpiration. Means what mean by this aerial parts? Aerial parts are the parts of the plants those elevate or spread into the air like leaves, branches. Okay, so means these are the main important part in the transpiration of the plant are leaves. Okay, why the leaves are very much important? Because the leaves having stomata in their upper and lower side. Okay, and what are stomata are the tiny pores, okay, usually found in the leaves epidermis, okay, and surrounded by the two kidney shaped guard cells. Okay, now what are the types of transpiration? According to the parts of the plant, we have three types of transpiration. The names of these types of transpiration is stomatal transpiration, lenticular transpiration, and cuticular transpiration. First, try to understand the term stomata. Stomata, I have told you already, these are very tiny pores which are present into the leaf. Okay, upper and lower both surfaces. It depends upon the plant is monocot or dicot. Okay, and lenticular transpiration means the term is arise from the lenticels. What are lenticels? Lenticels, actually, these are the porous means with minute pores. Porous means porous tissues present on the epidermis of the stem. Means the lenticels are present on the stems. That's why the transpiration is called lenticular transpiration. And cuticular transpiration, these terms arise from the word cuticle. And what is cuticle? Cuticle is a waxy protective layer above the epidermis. We have discussed about already the magnified structure of the internal structure of the leaf, and the leaf, the upper epidermis having a waxy layer, okay, which is also used for the protection. That's why this is the called the cuticular transpiration. Now let's start first. Stomatal transpiration means 90% transpiration in plants is done by the stomatal transpiration. Okay, and stomatal transpiration means when the transpiration occurs through stomata, this is called the stomatal transpiration. Okay, and second is lenticular transpiration, means when transpiration occurs through lenticels of the stem. This type of transpiration is called lenticular transpiration. Means third is cuticular transpiration. When transpiration occurs through cuticle which is present above the epidermis, okay, this type of transpiration is called cuticular transpiration. Okay student, these are three types of transpiration present in the plant, but 90% and mainly the transpiration is occur by the stomatal transpiration. Okay, means what is the process of transpiration. Okay, now we will discuss and we will learn how this process occurs. So means see these diagrams carefully. This is a complete picture of transpiration. In this diagram, observe the diagram carefully. There are the parts of the plant those take participate in the process of transpiration are present. Okay, go towards the first label. Okay, what this first label means, you are seeing the first label: root absorb water from the soil. You know student, the a large amount of water is present into the soil, and this water is absorbed by the root hairs, okay, and move into the xylem vessels. Yesterday we have discussed about the whole mechanisms of the uptake of water and minerals by the soil, okay, and two processes are going on here: active transport as well as passive transport. Okay students, the mean through the osmosis process. Osmosis is is a part of the passive transport. Okay, and through the osmosis this water enters into the xylem vessels, and in the xylem vessels, because of the suction force, this water move upward. Okay, and by the process of ascent of sap, by the process of ascent of sap, and because of this water move upward. Okay, and this is the first labeling. But you know, according to the second labels, when this water move upward because of the ascent of sap, this water enters into the leaves. Okay, and why it enters into the leaf? Because which process is going on here? Photosynthesis is going on, and as well as many metabolic activities are going on, because the gaseous exchange for the photosynthesis and respiration also occurs in the in this site, means in leaves. Okay, means in the large amount of water, only the little amount, small amount of water is utilized in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, but the excess water should be eliminated from the plant. It is very much important to maintain the transport system. You know student, we are the living organisms. Okay, we also having in our body the excretory system, and we should eliminate the excess water from our body by the system of excretion. And as well as in a very sunny day, we also having one more accessory system in our body. This is the sweat. We remove sweat from our body, and because of this sweat, extra toxic substances also eliminate from our body. Okay, that's why transpiration is very much important, to lose the excess water with the toxic substances and harmful substances from the plants. Why? Because the plants are also living organisms. That's why. Okay, so means this the in according to the second label, when water enters into the leaves, only some amount of water is utilized in the leaf for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and for other metabolic activities, and the remaining water, excess water, eliminate through the aerial parts, means through the stomata of the leaves. You can easily observe my cursor, these are the arrows, and this water is eliminate from these leaves and lost from these leaves in the form of vapors. Okay, why in the form of vapors? Because you are seeing the sun is present here. Okay, and because of the light intensity, the water is evaporating in the form of vapors. Okay, the third label, what are they saying? Unwanted water evaporate from the leaf surface. We have discussed already. So mean this is the whole mechanism of the transpiration. Through this process, the plants lost their excess water from their area part. Okay student, this is the process. But what happened, the transpiration mainly takes place, means 90% transpiration is taking place by the special pores called stomata, and stomata singular, they are called stoma. Okay, That's why we should know and we should understand what is the structure and mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. So means let's start. Means what is the main purpose of this opening and closing of stomata in plants, and why the opening and closing of stomata is very much important. Now let's start first. The opening and closing of stomata depends upon the turgidity of their guard cell. What mean by turgidity? Turgidity means the tightness and stressed condition of the cell. Again, I'm repeating this diagram. See this: when the water absorbs from the soil through the process of osmosis and it enters into the root hairs and the neighboring cells, because the water is a large amount, okay, so means the vacuole is present inside the cell, and this vacuole having a cell sap. Cell sap actually it is a mixture of the sugar and different solutions, okay, salt and water. So means because of entering of this water, this cell become stretched, okay, and this turgidity is very much important to maintain the shape of the cell, as well as it is very much important to move the water upward into the other neighboring present the upward cells, okay. So means that's why what is this is the turgidity, okay, it is very much important into the transpiration, okay. But what they are saying depend upon the turgidity on their guard cells. What are guard cells? See this diagram. These are the guard cells, students, okay. First understand the structure of guard cells. These are the shape of these guard cell is kidney shape, okay, because we have two kidneys, and the shape of these guard cell are kidney shape or bean shaped, okay. And this is the inner wall, this is the outer wall. Observe my cursor, okay. This is the inner wall. Inner wall is thicker, okay, it is the thick wall. Outer wall, it is the thin wall. As well as in the guard cell, which is the vacuole, is this is the vacuole, okay, large vacuole is present, nucleus is also present. But what are you observing? Chloroplast are also present, and these are the epidermal cell in the surrounding. Okay, students. To means what is going on means the when the water enters into the leaves after the process of photosynthesis and respiration, excess water apply pressure on the guard cells, okay. That's why the process of opening of stomata starts. What happened? The stomata are open when the guard cells become turgid. Why what happened when the water apply pressure on the guard cells means the inner margins curve apart to uh, due to the outward stretch of the outer wall. What happened? The inner walls move outward and they become like a curve shape, and because of this pressure and this is the movement of the inner walls outward, there is a pore like structure is formed, and because and from these pores water evaporates or lost from the aerial parts of the plants, okay. This is the mechanism of the opening of the opening of stomata, and it is very much important, okay. It is very much important in the transpiration process, okay. Now, closing of stomata. How the closing of stomata occurs? When when stomata are closed when the turgidity of guard cell decreases. See this diagram. What are you observing here? The inner margin of the guard cells, it close together and it shows like a close margin, okay. Means what happened with the loss of turgidity, the inner margin become straight and come close to each other. Are you seeing? This is looking like a straight margin, students. Because of this straight margin, because the both margins are close together, okay, curve is finished. That's why the this because of this close of the inner margins, the pore is closed, okay. That's why this is the mechanism of the closing of stomata. When the water evaporates, okay, and lost from the aerial part means from stomata, means turgidity means tightness and stretch condition of the guard cell become less, okay, and the margins close together. Beta, when we give when sometime we don't give water to the plants, what plants looking like a flaccid plant, okay, they are not in the stretch and proper condition. The leaves become flaccid. Like that, the stomata, the guard cells of the leaves become flaccid, okay. and means they do by means they do not have the proper shape, okay, and the tightness is finished. That's why the margins become close, okay. This is called, when nowadays the winter season is going on, and because of this winter we have also very flaccid skin in our body. That's why, okay. The plants are also living organisms. The means transpiration is very much important to to trans to maintain the transport system, okay. Now, we are going to learn about the significance of the transpiration. What is the significance of transpiration? Transpiration is very much important because of the active transpiration, transpiration pull is created. What is transpiration pull? Transpiration pool is created which help in the ascent of cell. To understand this point, I'm again moving towards my this diagram. See this means, when water enters into the roots, absorbed by the roots, okay. So means at the same time when water move upward because of ascent of cell, so means a bridge or pull is created, means column of the water is created. This column and upward movement is show like a bridge, show like a pull, okay. And means it is a biological process. Transpiration pull is a biological process in which a pulling force is produced. Pulling force is produced from the upward side, okay, and this pulling force is produced inside the xylem vessels. This force helps in the upward movement of the water from root to leaf. What again I'm repeating, transpiration pull is a biological process in which a pulling force is produced, okay. Here the pulling force is produced inside the xylem vessels, okay, and this force helps the upward movement of the water from root to shoot and then leaves, okay. That's why it is very much important. The means because of this, again I'm moving to means this is very much helpful. Transpiration pull is very much important for the ascent of cell, because if there will be no transpiration pull, means if water will not excrete from the stomata of the leaves, transpiration pull will not create it properly, because the roots are continuously absorbing the water. That means water should be eliminated from the pores of the leaves. Second importance, transpiration also increases the rate of absorption, because the loss at one end increase the demand of the other end. Obviously, means when if the transpiration process is going on properly, so means the demand of the absorption will increase. Means the root function will be proper. Because root are the responsible to absorb water and minerals, so means the root function will be proper of absorbing water and minerals to maintain the transport system, okay. Third point, what they are saying, transpiration gets rid of the excess amount of water from the plant. Yes, get rid of, we, because student, we are the living organisms, and the extra water and the excess water should be eliminated from our body. Now, in very summer day, in very hot and summer days, and we are the full of sweat. But when we want to sit in the air, inside the air, to eliminate and to get rid of this excess water from our body, okay. Like that, plants also get rid of the excess amount of water from plants to maintain the transport system. Number four, transpiration helps in maintaining the temperature of plant for its metabolism and survival, because evaporation causes cooling, gives the cooling effect. Yes, it's a natural phenomena. When in the very summer days we sit inside the fan, okay, we feel very cooling effect on our body, because the body temperature maintains because of this air and because of this cooling effect on our body. So means plants are living organism. Temperature is very much important in plants for the photosynthesis. Do you remember 15 to 30 degrees centigrade? From 15 to 30 degrees centigrade, the photosynthesis process occurs properly, okay, it is maintained. But when the temperature reach to 45 degrees centigrade, the photosynthesis process stops. That's why the optimum temperature from 15 to 30 degrees centigrade is very much essential for plants, okay, to maintain their body temperature. If the temperature will be maintained, the other metabolic activities means respiration, photosynthesis, and other activities will maintain properly, okay. Now, the fifth one is opening and closing of stomata is also regulated. Yes, opening and closing of stomata is regulated means maintain and the stomata work properly because of transpiration, and because which indirectly influence upon the rate of photosynthesis and respiration. Yes, obviously, if the large amount of water will be in the leaves, automatically photosynthesis will be disturbed. In a photosynthesis we have a process of hydrolysis. What is hydrolysis? Hydrolysis, it is the breakdown of water molecules, and the and in the breakdown of this water molecule only H ion utilized for the formation of carbohydrate and oxygen released in the environment for us, for the other living organisms, okay, for our survival. That's why if the transpiration rate is not properly and the excess amount of water in the plant will not evaporate, automatically the opening and closing of stomata will be disturbed. And if the opening and closing of stomata will be disturbed, automatically the other chemical processes, photosynthesis and respiration, will be disturbed in plant, okay. It is very much important. Automatically in our body, if our excretory system will be disturbed, automatically our digestion will be disturbed. If our digestion, respiration, and automatically our other system will be disturbed, okay students. That's why it is very much important. This was the significance of the transpiration I have discussed with you in detail, okay. Now, some factors are very much important to maintain the rate of transpiration in plants. Okay. What are these factors? Already we have discussed the rate of transpiration should be maintained in the plant. That's why some factors are very much important in plants to maintain the rate of transpiration. What are these factors? These factors are light, temperature, humidity, wind, and atmospheric pressure. These are the five factors. Those effect on the rate of transpiration in plants. Okay, and if they are properly maintained, the transpiration will not disturb. But if the rate of these factors can affect the transpiration, automatically the life of plant. Now, the first factor is light, okay. Light, these in summer days, the light intensity, if the light because of the light intensity, the temperature become high. So it is very much important function because it regulates the opening and closing of stomata. In daytime, the stomata are open, and in night they are closed. Why? Because of the light stimulate the opening and closing of stomata. And because in you suppose always, beta, you are the we are the living organism. In a sunny day, in summer season, in sunny day, we are full of sweat. But at night, the rate of transpiration from our body and the removing of the water vapor become less. The light having the light intensity decreases at night, okay. That's why the pores of our skin also become closed. That's why in the plants, like that, it is very much important. The Because of the light intensity, the opening and closing of stomata regulates, and they do their function properly according to the day and night timing, okay. And light is very much important in daytime. Why? Light is very much important factor of the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis cannot be proceed without the sunlight or without the light, okay. Because the photosynthesis cannot be complete and without the light. Light is very much important factor of the photosynthesis as well, okay. So means in the process of photosynthesis, light is also utilized because it is captured by the chlorophyll, okay. Because of this light, and the plants make their food, in the form of organic compound. Okay. Second factor is temperature. Temperature is very much important. The increase in temperature increase the rate of transpiration, and by increasing the rate of evaporation of water from cell surface, temperature is very much important. Already we have discussed, if the temperature will rise, the rate of transpiration will be increased. But if the temperature will be very high, to mean sometimes, because the loss of large amount of water vapor, the plant's part and structure should be disturbed as well. Okay, so means temperature is very much important. But if the temperature is very much less, to mean the rate of transpiration become less, and because the less of transpiration, automatically the other processes will be disturbed. Okay, so means temperature is directly proportional. The temperature and light means temperature and light both are the directly proportional to the process of transpiration. Now second is humidity. First try to understand what is humidity. What is this term? Humidity is the moisture of air, means the number of water molecules those are present in the air. They moisture the air, they moisture the atmosphere. Okay, and this the water vapors and amount of water molecule into the air, this is called the humidity. Okay, but humidity is inversely proportional to the transpiration. If the rate of water vapors will increase in the air, the automatically the rate of transpiration will be decreased. Very good example, nowadays these are the winter season. Okay, you can observe your body as well. In your body the transpiration is not going on properly. Why? Because the water vapors are present in our surrounding. And nowadays, when sometimes we see, in winter season we see the fog. What is fog? Fog is actually, it is a water molecules in the surrounding. Okay, the rate of water vapor increase in the surrounding. So means that's why, if the humidity will increase, automatically the rate of transpiration will be decreased from the plant. Okay, so means it means that transpiration takes place only when the atmosphere is partially saturated or dry. It is very much important. If the atmosphere will be moistured, so means the transpiration will not be proceed properly. Second is wind. What is wind? What is the main important role of the wind? Wind. The wind having a velocity. Okay, and because if the wind velocity will be increased, what it will do? It will remove the water vapors. Okay, it will remove the water vapor on the surface of the leaf automatically, and it will also remove the water vapor those are present in the surrounding of the plant, and it will make the atmosphere dry. And when the atmosphere will dry, automatically what happen, the rate of transpiration will increase. Water vapors are present sometime when we go in the garden in the morning, and we see the number of drops on the surface of the leaves. What are these water vapors? Actually, these water vapors are the result of the transpiration, and they should be removed and they should be eliminated from the plants. So means wind play a very important role to remove these water vapors from the surface of the leaves. Okay, and also to remove the water vapor in the surrounding of the plant, and it play a very important role to make the atmosphere dry, to increase the rate of transpiration. This is the effect of the wind on the transpiration. Now the last one factor is atmospheric pressure. First, try to understand the term of atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? Means atmospheric pressure, beta, actually it is the pressure exerted by the atmosphere. Pressure exerted by the atmosphere. Atmosphere having, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere, it is the mixture of different gases with water molecules. Okay, so means this atmosphere is also having a pressure. But when we go on the high altitude, okay, the atmospheric pressure become less. But when we are on the lower side of the earth, okay, and this atmospheric pressure increases as well. So means, what is the effect of the atmospheric pressure on the rate of transpiration? Students, what they are saying, low atmospheric pressure increases the rate of transpiration through reduction in the density of the air. Again, I'm telling you, reduction in the density. What mean by density? Density means the density of air means the air become dilute. Okay, air becomes dilute with less number of gases and with less number of water molecules without water molecules. So means, when the water molecules will less in the atmosphere and the gases will less in the atmosphere, automatically the atmosphere become dry. Okay, means, that's why, means, when the atmosphere become dry, because of the low atmospheric pressure, so means, automatically, we have discussed already, the low and the dry atmosphere play very important role, and it increase the rate of transpiration. What it does, it increases the rate of transpiration. Okay, so beta, these are the factors of transpiration. Okay, I am giving you the conclusion of the factors of the transpiration first. Means light. Again, I'm telling you from please try to understand these factors. These factors are very much important to on the rate of transpiration, okay, to maintain the transport system in plants as well. Means light, temperature, and wind, these three factors are directly proportional, okay, to the rate of transpiration. If they will increase, automatically the rate of transpiration will increase. Okay, but what happened, the only the humidity and the atmospheric pressure are inversely proportional. What they are? They are inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. Okay, and if they will decrease, the rate of transpiration will increase. If the atmospheric will be they will increase, the rate of transpiration automatically will decrease. That's why the both of them are the inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. Okay, students, these are the factors I have discussed with you. Again, I'm giving you the very short review of my lecture today, what we learned today. Okay, please listen again. Today we learn about the what is transpiration and how the transpiration maintains the transport system in plants. Okay, because the name of chapter is transport, because plants are living organisms, they have transport system. Yesterday we have discussed about the transport through the xylem and phloem, but yesterday we also have discussed about the Munch hypothesis. What it was? Munch hypothesis is the main important process of translocation. What is translocation? Translocation is a process of transport of organic food from leaves were the supply end. Okay, and they send the food or organic molecules by the Munch hypothesis, by the bulk flow, by the mass flow to other parts, lower and upper and lower both sides. Okay, that's why transpiration plays very much important role to maintain the transport in plants. Today we learn about the definition of transpiration. Okay, and again I'm repeating, the evaporation of water from the aerial parts, excess water evaporate from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. Today we learn about the three types of transpiration: stomatal transpiration, lenticular transpiration, and cuticular transpiration. And we learn about the where the stomata are present and what is the structure and function of stomata in the process of transpiration. We learn about what are lenticels. We learn about what is cuticle. Today we learn about all three definitions of the types of transpiration. Today we learned about the process of transpiration. Again, I'm reading: water falls as rain, is absorbed by the root plants. Okay, then move upward through the stem through the process of ascent of sap. The water released from the leaf in the form of water vapors. These water vapors are then evaporate from the leaf surface. Beta, again I am showing in detail your slides. You can take a screenshot as well. Okay. Now this is the whole diagram. of your transpiration, okay, and this diagram is also present in your book. Now this is today we discussed about the role of stomata and in opening and closing, and how the opening and when the opening and closing of stomata depends upon turgidity of guard cell. We learned about what is turgidity and what is the importance of turgidity in plants, and also we learned about the guard cells, okay. And we learn about the mechanism of opening of stomata. We learn about the mechanism of closing of stomata, how the stomata close, okay, because of the inner margins. Today we learn about the significance. I discussed with you the five significance of the transpiration, okay. And today we learn about the factors as well. These are the five factors we have discussed in detail. And I hope you all of them have understood all these factors nicely. Okay. This is the light. Okay. And this is the temperature. Inversely proportional, light inversely proportional, humidity, sorry, light directly proportional, temperature directly proportional, but humidity inversely proportional, okay. Wind is directly proportional, but atmospheric pressure is inversely proportional to on the rate of the transpiration. They are very much important and they can affect the rate of transpiration. I have told you many times, if the rate of transpiration will not be maintained in the plants, transport system automatically will disturb, because the plant are living organisms like us. If our excretory system will disturb, automatically our all system will be disturbed. Okay, student, inshallah we will meet together on Monday. But before going, I'm telling you the home task slide. Okay, there are the five questions I'm telling you. Define transpiration with types, okay, and answer you will write from my slide, okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 means 3 to 7. Number 2, describe process of transpiration with label diagram from slide number 8 and 9. Okay. Explain role of stomata during transpiration. Slide number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 means you will also draw the diagram as well. Okay. Write any five significance of transpiration, the slide number 15 and 16, okay. And question number 5, briefly explain the factors affect on the rate of transpiration. Beta, you will write the answer from my slide, not from your book, okay. Please write the answer and carefully take the screenshot of every slide. Inshallah we will meet together on Monday. Allah Hafiz.